What's up, Raiders? Bionic here. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to talk about, obviously, this guy right here, right? So we just had the Fragment Collector Fusion launched. I've had the chance to look at this guy. We've had a lot of hiccups this morning with the tournaments, the new events for this guy, and I do have the calendar, okay? An updated calendar so that you guys can plan this out. So we're going to go over all of that. Before we do so, I quickly want to go over this champion. Is he worth it or not? Are you guys going to push and try to get this guy? I said it before. As a free-to-play player, free-to-play content creator, I've decided to try and get literally all the fusions this year, okay? So regardless of if I'm going to use him or not, I will definitely get this guy. I already have a couple of ideas of how to build him. Personally, I think his stats overall look pretty good. This guy is screaming for a shield set as well. He's an HP-based champion. He has 23,000 base HP right off the bat, a good amount of defense, a lot of speed. Not enough resistance, but for what I'm going to do with him, I think he's going to fit quite well in one of my tag arena teams. Also, this skill right here is actually pretty solid. I'm thinking also this guy can work with the Seer for like nuking in some of the dungeons, right? Then we also have this quite amazing passive, I'm going to say, right? So we're placing shield equal to 15% of this champion's max HP, not the receiving champions. And then we're also going to heal each ally by 15% of this champion's max HP. So again, high HP shield set on this guy I think will be great. And then allies whose shield buffs are broken will also counterattack the enemy that breaks the shield. This is pretty awesome. Okay, so we have a built-in counterattack. Anyway, I'm pretty excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely going to get him. Let me know what you think about him overall. We do have a great aura as well, which is all battles. All right, so first off, I want to talk about quickly some of the issues I've seen this morning as well, because it might have cost you guys some precious rewards. This morning, I decided to push for the classic arena takedown that we had that ended somewhat about an hour ago. It overlapped with the current one we have right here, but I'll show you guys the current one that we have, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. See how I pushed in Classic Arena? I made it to 612 points in the last hour of the previous one. However, my points did not tally correctly in the previous Classic Arena tournament, and I think the devs are aware of this, but this basically cost me, I'm gonna say maybe third or second place, assuming these guys also did not tally correctly. I knew I was gonna do this. I wanted to hang close to like second, third place and push at the last minute. I think I did like 30 or some battles or wins or whatever, so I'm expecting hopefully this to be revised. Hopefully some of you guys did not get affected too much by this, but we're gonna see how it all plays out, okay? Then we have the, what is it? We had a Dragon Tournament, which also just ended, I think. And same thing here. I think my points might not have been tallied. Okay, it looks like they're good, but we're still not getting the reward. So obviously a couple of things are going on right now. Then we have this Champion Chase tournament, which is ongoing for this new fusion, and that'll bring me to the calendar. I do want to point something out though, okay? If we look at what they've given us in terms of events and tournaments, and the number of fragments they are giving us, they do not seem to include the first and second place of the tournaments. Therefore, on paper, it looks like we can only get 120 fragments. However, if you are able to finish first or second, which I get is very unlikely for basically all of us, you can get up to, I'm gonna say close to 150 fragments, I think. Okay, so I'll show that in the calendar, what it all looks like. We're going to go over a couple different scenarios so that hopefully you guys can, like I said, plan this better. Okay, so there it is. It's finally updating. Dragon Tournament, I finished first on that one. Good, because I was also pushing for that a little bit last minute. Okay, here it is. The updated calendar. What we have in green, as I've said before, are the events. Pay attention, we do have 2 artifact enhancement events. We do have 2 dungeon diver events, which seem to be overlapping on one day. So obviously it will differ depending on which time zone you are in, okay? Then we have a Champion Chase tournament, which is ongoing right now, which is overlapping with the 10 chance event. Yesterday, I had said that it might be the 2 chance event, as I thought the Champion Chase tournament might have been at the end, and we would have maybe started with a summon rush. But the summon rush will most likely be during the 2 chance event, okay? So you might be tempted to hold off on this Champion Chase tournament and instead save your shards to push here. Okay, and these are going to play a big role in the amount of fragments that you can easily get. Personally, I like summon rushes because you know what you're getting. You have a set amount of shards that you can use to get the points. A champion chase tournament is depending on the quality of pulls that you get. And I don't like that because it's a gamble and it's a 10 chance event. And again, I've said it before, but I'm not a big fan of that. But I'll show you guys a trick or two. I've talked about it a little bit yesterday that you can do to generate probably the first 2 milestones relatively easily. If not this time, hopefully next time. Then we have Classic Arena. We have 2 as well. Fire Knight. We have 1. We have 1 Ice Golem. No Dragon, Spider, and then no Champion Training Tournament. Okay, so they are limiting our options. That's my issue, is that we have less wiggle room to try and get 100 fragments. Still, it is doable, and I'm going to say that it is still doable for a free-to-play player if you've been preparing for this, okay? So let me break it down for you guys. The Summon Rush, I'm guessing 15 points is quite doable. I still don't know the value of like the last 10. I'm predicting this is going to be similar to Krila. So I'm going to say in scenario A, which is sort of like the balanced approach, we are going to go for the first 15 fragments. Then I'm going to say in B, you're pushing really hard on this Summon Rush. And then C is basically the maximum that you can get right now, according to what I've seen so far. Artifact enhancement events, we're going to have 2. They're 5 fragments each that we know. It's probably going to be around 1,000 points. Should be doable in all 3 scenarios, right? Dungeon Divers event, we just had one launch, right? And it looks like we are going to... It's going to be a little bit easier than what it was before. And we can bring it right here. Okay, so 575 points for 5 fragments and then 2,800 points for an extra 5 fragments. Okay, so this should be doable. During the time that we have both Dungeon Divers event, assuming they're both the same as well, it should be relatively easy. Okay, so we multiply this by 2. So I'm going to say all 3 scenarios can get that as well. Then we have the Champion Training event, which we do not know how many points we're going to have. It's only starting tomorrow, okay, on the 19th. And it really depends on how much food you have ready, okay? So you might be tempted to push a little bit more on, let's say, the Summon Rush, but this is starting after the Champion Training event or towards the end of it, okay? So it might be risky for you to wait on only this to get a couple more points, but I'm gonna say that the first 2 milestones should be relatively easy to do, so 10 fragments for scenario A and B, and then the last scenario, I'm going to say the maximum you can get is probably the whole 15, and again, I'm not sure how the 3rd milestone is going to be hard to get, but still, okay, you might want to play with that. Then we have the Champion Chase Tournament, which is ongoing right now. First 2 milestones we know, and then here's I guess I'm going to say better aspects of how they've structured this is that they're not counting the 1st and 2nd place, okay? So which means that you can get an extra, if I'm not mistaken, 5 fragments for finishing 1st or 2nd. But don't count on that, okay? I've said it before and we can look at it here real quick. Because again, not everybody's going to finish 1st. I know I never finish 1st in a Champion Chase tournament, so I'm never going to factor this in. I'm always going to only look at the milestones, so we see it right here. Okay, so we have 10, 15, but there's an extra 5 here, not being counted in what they've given us. Champion Chase Tournament, they're saying only 15 fragments. Those are the milestones only, okay? So again, I want to point that out. Maybe some of you guys have missed that, but it does come into play. So then I'm going to say that this is also doable for the balanced approach. And what did I mean by you can somewhat easily do this? Over the course of time, you'll realize that you can stock up on fusions. One great example is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be fusing a Broadma, okay? I have all these rares ready to go. All I need to do is to have the potions. I get that you might not have this ready to go. Maybe you have a, what's the other one? Relic Keeper, okay, ready to go, all right? Obviously, this one is not as ready. I need to rank up these guys to 40, but as you're doing a champion training event, for example, you could work on this at the same time. Maybe you have your Rosin ready to go. Maybe you're about to grab your Arbiter. Maybe you're about to get your Grush, right? That's going to be 250 points for me. So fusing a Broadma and doing a Grush is already half the points that I need. Then I can do literally 600 mystery shards if I wanted to, right? So that would literally not use my other precious shards that I'm going to use in the 2 chance event, okay? So that's a way to do it. Plan that for the future. Again, guys, it's all about planning. I knew this was going to happen and I've been preparing this way for that, all right? Then we have Classic Arena Takedown, pretty simple. I literally already completed mine, but I'm gonna say that in both cases, we can complete both of them. So technically what I'm showing here is both. And then the best case scenario is that you would finish first in both of them. This might be overshooting a little bit. No, it's 1, 2, and then there's 2 of them. And I think, as we've seen here, you can actually get a couple more fragments for finishing first. Classic arena. Okay, so 5 by default, and then you could get another 5. Okay, so you could get up to 10 per. Therefore, the total 20 here is inclusive of you finishing first in both tournaments. Very unlikely. Still, it's a possibility. Then we don't know the Fire Knight tournament. We have the example here, which is Krila. There used to be only 1 milestone at 1,500 points. I'm guessing they're going to split this up. I'm thinking maybe 1,000 points and all the way up to the last position. Okay, worst case scenario, so 2,700 points. This we've shown is possible if you're doing level 20 with just your basic daily regeneration, playtime rewards, new advanced quests, maybe have your weekly quests. It should be doable, okay? But that's the only thing you're doing for like the 3 or 4 days that this is going to be live. So still, I'm gonna say that you can do it. However, the way I've structured it is that, let's say in A, you only push on the Fire Knight. Sorry, you don't push, you only do 1 milestone, but then on the second one, the spider, you push to get the second milestone and get 10 fragments from there, okay? Ice Golem, same thing here, but we only have 5, so it should be doable. So like in scenario B, I'm saying you're pushing on Fire Knight, but not on Spider. Scenario A, I'm saying you're pushing on Spider, but not Fire Knight. But then on scenario C, where you can get the maximum amount, I'm saying you're completing literally all of them and finishing first in both tournaments. Again, very unlikely, but still, it is doable, okay? So, what does that give us? 100 fragments for my balanced approach, most likely what I will be doing. And then we have a scenario B, which is sort of like I'm pushing on the Summon Rush. I'm certainly not pushing on the Champion Chase tournament because I've pushed on the Summon Rush, and then I'm doing a little bit of the other things somewhat balanced, okay? Then we have, like I said, maximum fragments, maybe close to 150, but this is inclusive of you finishing first or second in literally all the tournaments that there is going to be, all right? So again, very unlikely, but guys, it is still doable, okay? This is just another example. They might be different in the future, but I think it is overall a little bit harder than Krila was because we had more options with Krila. We had more tournaments. We had the Dragon tournament and a Champion training tournament, which allowed us to somewhat split our resources a little bit differently. Here we're a little bit more forced into some of them. All right, so guys, that pretty much sums it up. We're already probably over 10-12 minutes. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you going for this champion? Do you think it's worth it? What do you think about the difficulty of this one, right? Is it a little bit too much or still doable? Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.